This is playing under what? YouTube
Under
or
Rubline Sense.
Rubline Sense on
YouTube.
Facebook.
Yeah, it should be. Yep. It should be. What's going on, guys? We're having a little bit of technical difficulty, but we are here.
It's on YouTube.
And we're trying to get. It is? We're good? All right. Yep. We're trying to get.
We turn down the volume.
Get Ted's difficulty coming back. He had a little technical difficulty, so he's coming back. We're not sure. We don't think that Freezer Bound Outdoors will be here today, but hey, what's going on? Thanks for coming in, Broadhead Outdoors. City Sticker Chris, what's going on?
We're waiting on Ted. Waiting on Ted.
Yeah,
Ted had a humming in his headset, so he's going to come back in and see if we can get that ironed out. Mike Feaster says, hello, Rick.
Mike, what's going on, bud? We are actually waiting for one of the other guys to come in. Glad you could make it in. As soon as he comes back in, he was having technical difficulties. We're going to get things going here. We're going to talk about the first day of Pennsylvania archery season for the entire state, not just what was it? What was it? Ted's area. What's it? 2B or something like that?
He's in 2B. Yeah, he's in 2B.
Yeah.
Down in Pittsburgh. Yep.
Broadhead says, hey. So hopefully, there's more people popping in. I see 4 now.
Yeah, I got a
Nobody's saying anything. They're being shy, but yeah. We're kind of waiting on one of the other guys. He was having technical difficulties, but we didn't want to start too late.
Yeah, we got 4 in there right now, from what I can tell.
Yeah, 2B. Yep, 2B has been in for a couple of weeks now.
Yep. I used to live in 2B. Back when I lived there, though, we didn't get a head start. It all came in at the same time.
Is it Ted? Yeah, we're waiting on Ted.
Yep.
He had difficulty with his either, I don't want to say his computer, but his mic or something was picking up his computer's fan running or something. So it was bothering him. So he said 1A. Yeah.
What county's 1A, Broadhead? What county is that you're in?
I think it's got to be close to the Crawford, Venango County. Well, part of it, because like Titusville is Crawford County, Venango County, and it's actually got what I think 5. I think it's 1A, 1B, 2F. Boxy, what's going on?
Okay, Boxy's in 1A, so it's up by Palmatuming area.
Boxy.
Yep. He said he's split between Butler and Lawrence. All right, I got a bunch of relatives in Butler.
Yeah.
Off the wife's side. Boxy was sharing it out. He said he was one of the 4 that I mentioned.
All right, here comes Ted. He's back.
Mercer and Crawford mostly, he says.
All right, it's gone. It should be gone now.
Yep, it's gone.
Yep. Good job, man.
What'd you do?
Yes, sir.
I can't tell you that.
What was it? Oh, yeah. See, that's what he beat you and get you to be.
You unplugged the refrigerator.
No, yeah. My wife's gonna be pissed with all the food from last night. No, I hit the echo cancellation on the settings here, and it shut it off. So it might be the room that I'm in because there's no noise dampening or nothing. So I got the fridge running, this fan's running, so it was probably something like that. So I hit the echo cancellation, and Jason said it was fine. So that's what we're going to stick with.
All right.
Yeah.
I got to make sure that that's off there. So if it sounds good, then we're good.
Yeah.
Portersville. Yep. I know where Portersville's at.
Yeah.
Ted,
Yeah,
you were just called Rubline Magic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how you got that name, but
Who called me that?
a Broadhead
Broadhead.
Outdoors. I think he's a young fella from the
Yeah, Wyatt. That's Wyatt. He's
yeah, what Portersville area. Yeah.
Okay.
He might have said that because I donated my hat that I won from Adam today on the Adam's Live.
Ah, okay.
I said, give it to the kid.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I told Adam I didn't want his hat.
Oh,
no, I'm just kidding. I told him. I said, nah, give it to the kid. He wanted it. He was all up in arms. So I was like, yeah, give it to the kid. So he got it. I told Adam I'd buy it.
That's all right. Adam said I won something in one of his lives 2 years ago, and he still hasn't given it to me.
No, really?
We were there for the rendezvous. I was just up there, 2 weeks ago when he had that gathering up before we went up to the bear camp.
Nice.
And I left his place, and I was like, dude, you said I won something 2 years ago. I've been at your place how many times, and you never gave it to me.
That's funny. So we're live right now, right?
Yeah, we're on. It's on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yep. We got 5 people in.
Our fan board is grows Christmas.
Actually, one of our pro staff guys, Mike Feaster, is in here. So watching.
Cool.
So
okay, Mike's in.
I see Mike.
Boxy's in.
Yep, I see Boxy.
Broadhead.
That's it.
Boxy's out there proving things for us.
Well, and I'm probably counted in there too because I got it on my phone.
Yeah, you're in there too.
Yep. JJ just joined in. Hey, JJ. He's working magic.
Yeah. Oh, I can't. Wait a minute. I got to switch JJ. Back. Did you?
I should be in here now.
There you go. It went up
What's
to
that?
6. Yeah.
Hey, there you are, Chris. Nice banner. Nice banner. I branded him.
Portersville. We have a Portersville up here too, Wyatt, and it's up towards what is that, Marine State Park?
Yeah,
that's where he said he's at.
Is that where he is?
Yeah, he's in 1A up towards.
No, he's up in so he's up by Lake Arthur then.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's actually a couple of cherry trees in Pennsylvania too.
Yeah, there is.
Not just a tree, but a cherry tree, the town of Cherry Tree. So.
Right. Quite a few of them, actually. 3 that I know of.
But, yeah.
All right.
Oh.
All right. Well, what do you want to talk about first?
I was going to say, let's talk about our first day. Of the
mine was great, my first day.
Yeah.
Your birthday.
Yeah, my wife had a surprise party for me, and I didn't go out hunting Saturday, but I had a great time with my wife and my family and all the friends. They all came down, and I don't know how they kept it from me, though. It was kind of weird because usually you can't keep nothing from me, but the kids held it in, and my wife got me that. It was funny because then after I got there, I was thinking about it. I'm like, you know what? I should have known better. I should have known. Because it was like she set it up. She even loaded the truck up with all these like toys and stuff, like games. And she was like, yeah, they need them for the Apple Fest. And then I'm like, I didn't put 2 and 2, like the Apple Fest on St. Agnes. I didn't know. I just didn't put it all together because I wanted to go to the hayride. I was like, yeah, I want to go to a hayride. Right. My buddy's farm. I was all ready to eat corn and stuff. And like my kids just played all through it. And then that morning I went to my daughter's softball game, and like the people that were at the game, like my buddy's dad and mom were there, and they played the crap out of me at the game too. Like everything just went. They did perfect.
They played you. They played you like a punk.
Yeah, when I walked in, I actually had to like turn around and walk back out. And I was like, I was surprised, and I just was like, whoop. So, but it was good. My wife
about Carly.
Did Theo or Carly get out? No, not without me. They're not.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't go out. I'm thinking maybe next weekend we're gonna go down Uniontown, and I may go down. We may do the actual hayride next weekend, and go down and hunt and go do the hayride. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Well, my morning
How'd your first day, Chris?
my morning was slow. I only saw one spike. Uh, it was probably 70 yards away. It I have a very small portion of property here at the house with a kill plot on it, and the guy that borders right up against me there, why they like to travel the borderline a lot. So that one made it around me, but he was checking a scrape as he went on by. That was
Is
interesting.
that one you sent me a picture of?
No, no, in the morning that was a different one. But
Okay.
yeah, in the evening now that was a whole different story. And I saw 10 deer and 7 were bucks.
Yeah.
So I'm stoked about that. I see.
Jason knew about the secret too. I guess I'm sorry, I'm just reading the comments, so I didn't mean
Yeah.
to interrupt her. But Jason from
Right.
JJ Drones, my wife called him and said, "Hey, if you weren't in Michigan, you're getting the invite, but we know you're in Michigan." So, or
Hmm.
so it was. He had to keep the secret too. He didn't call me. I was wondering why he didn't call me for like 2 days. So he probably didn't want to.
Didn't want to spill the
He didn't
beans.
want to. My wife. Yeah.
So yeah, I got 2 stands set up on the edge of this field on the destination plots, and obviously I picked the wrong stand last night because the good shooters were over underneath my other stand, and I could see them. It was torture all night long. But
Yeah.
at least they got out of there before I had to get down. And I didn't bump anything out, so that was
Well, I
good.
told you how we could solve that problem, Chris.
What? Put you in the other stand.
There you go.
I can't
Yeah.
I can't let you guys shoot all my good ones. I gotta shoot. I gotta make more posters like this.
And that'll happen. Like if you put me in that stand, your big one would come
Oh
over there.
yeah, oh yeah.
That's just how it works out.
I would cry, but then I'd be happy for you. It would be happy tears.
Yeah. Jason said he always tells me everything, so he would have blown the cover. That's why he didn't call me.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you had a good morning then. Or you had a good day then, Chris.
Yeah, I did. I had a very nice day. I was only not in a stand for a total of like 3 hours of the day.
What time were you not in your stand? And this brings up a point that I want to hit real quick.
I climbed down about 11:15. Okay. Now I'm talking here around the house, and if you come here, I'm in like a tourist trap area here. There's lots of camps and things, and permanent houses too. So
Yep.
there's a lot of patches of woods that all connect, and once you get to a certain time of the day, the deer kind of lock down because
Gotcha.
people start moving around and they just want to go lay somewhere and be left alone. So
Yep. Now,
nothing
I
moves.
wanted to hit you up on that was because it's a full moon. So,
Yeah.
I'm thinking midday activity. I seen deer. I went down to my stand actually today, and I seen deer in people's yards.
See,
Because of the
had I
moon.
been out on the mountain over to Clarion River, I would have stayed. I would have sat all day.
Yeah.
But being that I was starting here on home base, you
Yeah.
know, I knew I could come home, grab a bite to eat, and do a few things I needed to do around the house.
It's
and then get
early
back.
still.
Yeah, and then I could get back out in the tree. But I'm going to tell you this though: I was back in the tree no later than 2:30,
Mhm.
and within minutes I had deer on me.
Yeah,
So
the
I mean,
full moon
they
gets them
were
running
moving.
early. Yeah, it gets them moving in the middle of the day.
Now
Now,
those were the pictures I sent you.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
I
Okay.
had 2 spikes come on me right now as soon as I got up the tree, and one of them bedded right underneath me on the tree line,
Okay.
like 15 yards away.
And that's going to bring up another point that I'd like to talk about after Rick goes. But I guarantee I would have got some pictures of deer on my camera if I would have turned it on.
Oh,
Yeah, I went into my stand last week and I go in there and I'm setting it up and I put it on setting to set it up. And I was so into making my scrape. I made my scrape and put the fresh scrape in and put my dripper up and walked away and never turned my camera on. So I'm sure there's deer were there, but I didn't get any pictures of them. So I went out today and I turned it on. So we should have some pictures next week.
right.
Yeah.
So I was like, you got to be kidding me. Because you know how it's like Christmas when you're going to check them cameras. I got up today. I was all excited. I went down and looked and my camera was off. I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Right. That sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, that stinks. So, Rick, what did you do first day?
Actually, I got talked into putting a stand on another guy's property that was adjacent to my father-in-law's and mine. And so I went out Friday night and made 2 mock scrapes and got into this tree that he had cleaned up and stuff and put my stand in there. Made one at 20 yards and one at 40 yards. And so I got, it was probably about 6:15. I pulled in and I was about, 200 yards away. I got that close. I pulled in with my truck and parked in my father-in-law's yard. And I got out of the truck and I looked and there's 2 does standing right in front of my truck staring at me. And I'm like, eh. So I was like, you want me to shoot you right here? No, that'd be against the law, alighting from a vehicle. So she just kind of looked at me for a minute and then walked off. And then, so I got my stuff out and she didn't walk very far because I turned around and she snorted after I come around back around in front of the truck. And I said, no, that wasn't nice. So I walked back in there and got about to this one spot near the one stand that I had. And I put a little fresh scrape on my boot and walked back in. I went up to him and hit the dirt one more time on both scrapes and then turned around and I got up in the stand and it was a little foggy that morning, but the fog for me didn't actually come into the woods until later. When about 8 o'clock, I looked up and there was a spike, big spike, but a spike right there working the scrape a little bit. He was standing on it, looking around, sniffing up at the branch that I had and stuff. And I was just watching him. And he stayed there for a little bit. And then I went up and I grabbed it. I had the camera with High Point Products camera holder.
Yeah.
My camera holder. And I opened it up and it went ding, ding. And he looked at me. So I just sat there and I was like, yeah, you'll make a good video.
Yeah. Did you guys video the first day you guys were out? Did you take your cameras?
I had all the Tacticams.
Yeah. I haven't got my Tacticam fired up yet, but I did purchase one for my bow, the 6.0, the newest one. So I got to get that fired up. But then I was sitting there and I heard snapping behind me and I could see these deer moving. They were doe, but they were moving behind me, but I'm in this big pine tree. So I was just like, yeah, you'll come out in front of me one of these days. And then I turned around and I looked down and here come 2 fishers running together. And they stopped at the 20-yard scrape that I made, messing around. And then the one jumped over the other one and kept on running. Then the extra turned around and smelt that again, and turned around and started taking back off and went back off.
See that? So fresh scrape is good for bear and fishers.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, black
actually, I shot my bear last year over it. I actually have video cameras with raccoons going in there, fox, coyotes, and now fishers. So I mean, I think that a lot of the animals, hey, Whitetail Obsessions, what's going on? I really think that a lot of animals, when it comes to the mock scrapes, they actually go out and travel the same paths a lot of times, so they're curious and interested in it as well.
Yeah, I think a lot of that has to do with the scent and territory. Even other animals, they like to go, because I've seen coyotes, I've seen fox, I've seen raccoons. They go and they urinate in the scrape also to try to overpower the scent that's there already. So any animal walking past there, that's definitely an attractor, having that scrape. But when they smell the urine from another animal, I think they urinate in there too, just to get their scent in there to sort of like overcome the other scent, to try to say like, hey, I'm here too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm hoping to get out Tuesday morning. Tomorrow I'm daylight at work, so I got to go into work tomorrow, and then I'm going up Tuesday morning, and I'm on. I don't have no pictures, so I don't know what's there. So I'm going in blind. So I'm going to see if anything's hitting that scrape, and I'll take my camera equipment in, and that'll be my first hunt. Will be Tuesday, actually Tuesday morning.
Yeah. So, if I have time, I'm going to move my one stand along the cornfield that I had up there for a few years and move it down in behind the one barn that I got all these pictures of and stuff.
Yeah, and Boxy's
I just got to find a leaf.
Boxy's said in here he I've seen a post that he's got and he also said it in here he's got so many pictures in 6 days on his scrapes with the fresh scrape. So I'm looking forward to seeing the pictures that he has for the for that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. Now I know one guy. He said that, Rick, I shot a 6-point over the scrape or fresh scrape. He said, but it was so warm out, dude. I forgot to take pictures, and he said I can send you a picture of the carcass. I was like, no, that's good, but just get your boy out there and get him a deer and stuff, and then we'll be good to go. So it actually there was actually one already taken that I'm aware of over fresh scrape.
Cool.
So
yeah, I got a ton of pictures too.
Yeah. What the heck I want to say? Oh, so you know how you had all those deer under you, Chris? You were taking pictures.
Yes.
We were talking about the limit shield.
Yes.
So I got a gift card for my birthday last night, so I ordered my limit shield today.
Nice.
Yeah, so I got the limit shield ordered today.
Will not disappoint. Will not disappoint.
Yeah.
Did you get the package or did you just get the foam? How did you?
No, I got the whole package.
Nice.
I got the package deal, so I'm looking forward to using that. And then the X10.
Yes.
All this
that
stuff.
Extend is good crap, man. Yeah. It's gonna go everything. Okay, let me explain Extend to people that might not know about.
Yeah, go ahead and do that.
Okay, Limit Shield. First of all, they're just not a hunting product. They have a mother sister company, whatever you want to call it, that is in the clinical end of things, and they have hospitalized chemicals that they use, but they have everything. I mean, they have something that eats the gunk off your barbecue grill. They have stuff that you pour down a drain that has enzyme in it that'll eat gunk in your drains and clear them. Not necessarily hair, but like food products and stuff that's clogging a drain. They have stuff that they put in a gymnasium to clean the gym equipment and stinky locker rooms and things. And then you come to the hunting end of it, and the stuff that they use, like I said, it comes from a clinical background from hospitals. Like when COVID hit, all those hand pumps that you was hitting in the hospital and sanitizing your hands with, that was foam. Guess what it was? It was the same product Shield puts out, and it may have even been a Shield depending on which hospital you was in. So this stuff goes right directly on the skin. It's safe for all that next to skin stuff. Now, they do have just straight hand sanitizer too that you can order in a pump as well. But getting back to the Extend, they call it X10. It's an X, a 10, and a D. X10 is 3 10s involved. You got 10 gallons of hot water, tap water, as hot as you can get. Don't exceed 150 degrees. 10 gallons of hot water treats 10 pounds of clothing when you soak it for at least 10 minutes.
10 minutes, yep.
Okay, and then what you have is a product that goes next to your skin that is treated, and it's either good for the lifetime of the garment, or they estimate 50 washes that it stays into your clothing. Gotcha. So it's going to be like a game changer for that type of thing. So it ends up being something like these other garments on the market have in them that are like a scent lock or something like that. You know, it's or like Hex and stuff that doesn't let out the scent or whatever. It's it's kind of interesting stuff. I mean,
Yeah, I
it,
was interested in that too, Chris. Like when you turned me on to that, I start reading about it, and it's really interesting.
it is. It is. They have this such a background before they
Hmm.
ever started the hunting end. Um, so like those pictures yesterday, I'm on the edge of a field, right? The wind's swirling. I mean, it's hitting me in the back of the neck. It's hitting me in the face. It's hitting me in the side. I mean, it was just horrible wind yesterday. As soon as I crawled up in a stand, it was 70, almost 76 degrees. I'm sweating and I'm thinking, man, this is horrible wind. I'm gonna get winded here. But hey, it worked out, man. Within minutes
Yeah,
of being in the stand, I was taking pictures of deer less than 10 yards underneath me. And then that one was straight down through my stand. You can see my boots standing on the stand,
mhm.
and my climbing stick is hitting the ground, and the deer is sticking its head through the rungs on my climbing stick and eating thorns.
Yeah,
Eating
and
them
that's like
big.
with me last year when I was videoing my boots there, and I'm watching these deer because I have a video coming out really soon with the scent products that I use right
Uh-huh.
now. But that was before I start looking at the Elima Shield. But I had some products that I'm using that I really like, and it's that Phase from Illusion Systems. If
Hmm.
anybody follows the Deer Society, they introduced that product, and they have the body foam, and I've been using that for about 3 years now, and I've had pretty good luck with that. I really haven't been pinned down or got jumped by a deer really.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I've had deer up close with that. But I really like the Elima Shield because it just seems like they have a lot of science behind it, and it's proven. If they're using it in hospitals and things like that, it's
Right.
proven for
Yeah.
bacteria and
Yep.
stuff. And I'm buying that Sika gear, and I told you
Yes.
about that. And that's not like scent lock or anything like that. That's just good gear.
Yeah.
And
Just
I want that extend for my undergarments and stuff, the socks, beanies, thermals and things like that. I want to soak that stuff in that. So I have sort of like the scent lock advantage, but using a Lima Shield under my Sika gear. Now I have an ozone machine,
mhm.
ozone closet that I put all my clothes in after every hunt, and I put them in there. I hit the button and it gives it the ozone and takes all the scent out of it. So I have
Cool.
that as a backup too. But I really like the a Lima Shield because it prevents you. And I sweat when I walk into the woods in the morning. I don't care how cold it is. I sweat. I walk in 10 degrees with a t-shirt on because I sweat when I walk in.
Right.
And you know how that is with your hands and everything, and you're climbing up your sticks. And if your hands are sweating and everything, I like
Right.
that foam, and I like that preventative where it causes, it doesn't cause the odor. It stops the odor there.
Yeah.
So I'm
Right.
really looking forward to checking out this Lima Shield. So thanks for
Yeah,
giving
man.
me the
It's
old little kick in the butt to go and try it out. But
well,
I'm gonna try it out.
I am 5 weeks without stick deodorant.
Yeah,
Haven't wore a stick of deodorant in 5 weeks. I just, every day I make sure I'm clean and I reapply. So
yeah,
I take the scent free showers, reapply under the arms, around the neck, through the hair. I even sometimes I stick it on my feet
yep,
if what I can reach on my back because my
mhm,
back sweats like crazy going in, you
yep,
know. And they have a field spray, a laundry detergent, the Extend. They have everything, the body shampoo and all that. They have it all. So if you
yeah.
got the
It's
package, man, you'll be doing good. You'll like it.
yeah,
You'll
it's
like it.
yeah. I'm going tomorrow actually out to Bucks and Bows out of Route 8 to get my get fitted for my Sika gear tomorrow,
Okay.
Sika gear. So I'm going
Oh,
out
yeah.
tomorrow
We
after
meet
work.
at 4:30, right?
Yeah, so I got to meet
Okay.
Rick. I'm going to be out there. So Rick's going to come out and we're going to meet up tomorrow after work. And then I'm going to go there and do that. And then I'm going to head home. But yeah, I'm excited to get in the woods Tuesday, and I'm itching to get in the woods. So
This Rick's gonna meet you.
this Rick, yeah,
Okay,
this
cool,
Rick
cool.
right here.
I don't know the new owner. I used to know the ex owner. I
Okay.
used to know
John. I used
John
to work for Bucks and Bows years ago when
John
it was in
John
Sherford.
Kennedy.
John Kennedy,
John
the
Kennedy.
electrician, the
Yep, the
electrician.
electrician. Yep,
Hmm.
yep. I
So
bought my
I
first Matthews off of him.
yeah, and he used to be a seller of that in a big time. When I worked there, it was all that was the boat, the
Yep.
Matthews.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's expensive, but it's good stuff here, Wyatt. It's
Yeah.
I've been looking and looking, and I finally found that, and I'm like, yeah, I'm getting that stuff there. So we're gonna get that, and that'll be my last hunt outfit, I think. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably
And
good stuff.
Rubline has Perception Sense, was pretty much used in hospitals as well. And they had some issues, but they got things straightened out, and they got a pretty good body wash. I've tried it. Also, when we were up at camp, Chris was telling me when he first got there about that stuff. I was like, well, 3.5 days. Yeah, I'm purposely gonna not shower.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I had showered the day before I come up there, or that day I come up, and then Chris came the next morning. So I got up and I was like, yep. So he had me try it, and we made a video and stuff. And yeah, I was absolutely. I mean, the third day I was sweating, and I went like this, and I still couldn't smell. I could know that I was sweating, but still couldn't smell any under.
Yeah, and it doesn't hurt to reapply it too, and it's
No.
easy to reapply because of that pump sprayer. You keep it in your pack, man. You can spray it. Put on your hands, the back of your neck. I always run it through my hair. I soak my hair down with it.
Yeah.
And there's no with the phase that I use, there's no side effect. You don't get itchy or do anything like that. So, but I've never used the Elimishield yet, so I'm looking forward to using it.
No, and it's I think I was telling you, Ted, the guy from Growing Deer TV,
Yeah.
Dr. Grant Woods,
Mhm.
he had a kidney transplant, and he obviously you have to be opened up for that, and he was applying the core body foam to his stitches and things, and he's an older gentleman, and when he went back to see the doctor was like, man, for your age, he's like, you're healing so quick, what was your secret? And he told him that he was using this stuff.
Yeah.
That's a story I was told.
Yeah,
So
no, it makes
like,
sense.
wow. Yeah,
because it's not allowing the bacteria and stuff in the cut and all that stuff. So I mean, it's like a sterilization process, basically.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
yeah, it's good stuff. You guys will enjoy it. Like
that's awesome.
the key is to be clean first. It's not a cover up. I mean, they do have a field spray, but you're supposed to be clean. Put the stuff on before you start to stink. You know, or like if you have to stop and get gas, that'd be what the field spray is for, that type of thing. But
I like when the people are in the gas stations in the morning and they have their hunting outfit on and they're out there standing there with pumping gas and their rubber boots and all that stuff, and they get in and they walk it over.
Stop the sheets for a powdered donut, and it's all over
Drives
their
me
shirt.
nuts. Drives me nuts. Drives me nuts.
Coffee and powdered donut running down dribbling down their chin.
And like what? So I have a question. Now Boxy's in here, and I want to see Boxy. Is he hooked now on Rubline Sense? Is he going to come over to the family and get on the team or what?
Yeah. I think he might be hooked.
Yeah. Hopefully he can. Hopefully he joins the team. Would love to have him.
Because he and I are in the same boat, really. Because like when I was talking to Andy at the rendezvous, I told him, I said, I am not a scent guy. I am not a deer urine guy. I'm a gland lure guy. I use a lot of gland lure, oil-based stuff. And I told him, I said, I'll take it and use it, and if it gets pictures, it gets pictures. I'll send them to you. Well, I'm not disappointed. Not at all. I mean, I've got pictures of the deer. Their heads are in the dirt. I got pictures of. They're sniffing the gland lure up top. I mean, but it's a total package. You put the two together and it's unstoppable.
I'd almost want Rubline to make a gland lure. I'd really like to see Rubline go into
cool.
like the oil-based gland lures would be awesome. That way you have the full everything's Rubline scent. You know what I mean? Because I use the gland lure now on the licking branches and things like that to keep it, keep that scent on there longer.
Right.
And I team it up with the Rubline Sense Fresh Scrape, and it I got 2 scrapes down my camp with 2 cameras on it. I got a couple of scrapes down in Ohio with cameras on it. I got scrapes here with the cameras on it, and I have yet to pull a chip yet. So once I pull the chips, then I'll see if they're starting to hit that or not. But I'll share them. You'll see them on social media and stuff like that.
I gotta be honest. When I was talking to Andy and told him, hey, I'm a gland lure guy, he goes, and he's just standing there smiling. And when I got done speaking to him, because I told him, I said, I use Smokey's deer lures on, over on the licking.
Ozark Found, what's up?
And he said, guess what? I use Smokey's too. I says, well, okay, we're on the same page now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that glandular is definitely a 1-2 punch. You know,
Oh,
when you
yeah.
got the urine, because like we've talked about this too, Chris. A deer don't pee up in the tree.
No, and I've got
Right.
videos on that. My biggest pet peeve is people putting urine up on a licking branch. What
Mhm.
deer wants to stick their own
Yeah.
face in their own urine? It ain't
Yeah.
happening.
Mhm.
You know, I'm
Now
not.
I've done it before. I'm not going to lie to you. I have done pee. I sprayed pee on the licking branch back in the day when
I
I
was
did
going to
that. But
say
then as I
years
got
ago.
as I got smarter and more knowledgeable about it, I started saying, okay, preorbitals. That's not the urine gland. That's not urine. It's a preorbital gland. It's their eyes, their head, their forehead glands. So I started going with and I'm going to mention another company. It was Kissel's. You know what I mean? They had the
Yeah.
Mock Straight kit. It was a kit, and they had interdigital
Yep.
spray and all that. Well, as I'm doing research too on this, the interdigital gland, the tarsal gland is down there. That's what the buck pees over the tarsal gland and actually puts it in the scrape. So you have a little bit of tarsal gland involved with the deer pee also in the scrape, so it doesn't hurt to have that tarsal gland sent in there. But the interdigital in between the toes, I'm going to call them toes, but they're hoofs. Okay.
Right.
You got to be very careful when you're using that, because what does a deer do when he's scared or in an emergency or an alert? What's he do?
Right. He stamps in it.
He
Yeah.
stomps, right? So they stomp their foot. You know why they stomp their foot? They're laying that scent down, and them deer smell that interdigital. So you can alert deer if you're using that on a drag rag and you're putting that in your scrape and things like that.
Yeah.
That is a warning for deer, that interdigital gland.
Right.
So if a deer stomps, he's saying, hey, there's something wrong here. Boom. And he's laying that scent down. So when another deer comes in that area, he's on alert when he smells that interdigital. So you got to be very careful when you're using that gland, when you're using that lure. So I actually stopped using that. And it was funny because, Al, the one that we did the auction for, I was speaking with Al a couple weeks ago, and we were talking about the same thing. And he said the same exact thing. He said that interdigital gland, you got to watch, because that's an alert. That's a warning. You let them deer know when they smell that walking in the woods, they're like, boom, their ears will come up and they will be alert when they smell that interdigital gland. So you got to be very careful with that.
So
And I would eliminate it if you
I
could.
actually use it.
Mm-hmm.
I do use it.
Yep.
I have buck interdigital and doe interdigital.
Mm-hmm.
And
And you just got to be careful with it.
I have eyedropper.
Mm-hmm.
I put about 5 drops in my scrape.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Just to let you know that they're in there, because
Yep.
that's natural
Yep, 'cause
for them to be in
I
there.
want them to know that it was a real deer there. Yeah, well,
Mm-hmm.
it was me, but it was a
Yeah.
real deer.
Yeah.
I want
But
them to know that there was a real deer in that scrape.
yeah. But you just like in a scrape, I would say, yep, that's cool. You know what I mean? Because they are in there. They're scraping. Their
Right.
hooves are in there.
Right.
But you just got to be careful on your drag rags and things when you're pulling them through the woods and you're putting interdigital everywhere. You
Yeah.
may have some deer on high alert, and I may
Yeah.
even do an experiment on that later on. Just to try to get some footage of that, and maybe do a drag rag with just interdigital and see how a deer reacts, doe or buck, when they hit that drag line, and see how they react to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And actually, guys, just so you know, Rubline is actually one of the leaders when it comes to the CWD verification and the RT quick test, which are both tests that's for the CWD. The herd is tested every single year, and the RT quick test, the urine is actually tested. Every batch of urine is tested. So it's a very expensive, but what do I want to say? Leading way to test and make sure that the CWD does not, prions and stuff does not get out into any other location or state and stuff like that. They do a lot of that. They're also Deer Protection Program member and a Responsible Hunter Scent Association member. So they have a bunch of rules and regulations that they actually have to follow.
Mm-hmm.
And we're actually trying to even get some of the states that have banned all natural urines to recognize what we're doing here to make sure that does not happen in any
They're
state.
starting to ban. There's a lot of states that are thinking about banning scent, man. It's getting kind of You know, if you're a scent hunter and you use scent a lot, it's on the books, man, where they're trying to get rid of them no matter what. So
We just
you know, you
lost
gotta,
South Carolina this year.
yeah. So you got to be careful. They got to hopefully. I mean, I think it's a big part of my hunting is scent. You know what I mean? I like, and I don't know. I've had I've used scent my whole life. I've probably used way too much in the past. I definitely don't use as much as I used to do. Now, and scrapes and stuff is different, but you know,
Yeah.
with the scent drippers and things like that. But I used to load up scent. I used to do drag rags all the time. I used to hang wicks and this and that and the other. And I don't know. I've only had one deer in my whole life follow the exact trail that I walked in on a drag rag, and I've never had a deer besides the one deer follow the drag rat exactly the way I walked right to my stand where I put it and hung it. And that was one deer that I shot locally. But everything else, I've never had a deer follow my drag rag in. So
I've
it
never
takes
tried
a
that.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a
Brown
lot.
had that.
It takes a
Yeah.
lot to convince me for that. So
Yep. Well, Friesenbaum has the video from that late season hunt. And
yeah,
it shows every step of the way. And then he has the two bucks fighting over that one, with the I think it was the hemp rope and
yeah,
stuff over the mock shape he created. I had a buddy that 2 years ago, he made a drag line out in the field and then come over to the field edge and made a mock scrape and put a wick up. And he said he watched that buck come across that field, followed him right over basically the exact path that he took, and come right up and started working the scrape, and his boy shot him. A nice size 6. So it does. I mean, but that's just like too, and I've been finding out and trying to teach people too, like we were talking, that's on the ground. So they have to be fairly close. They can smell it at a distance, but the closer they are, the better it is for you. So if you get it up in the tree 20 feet like you are and mist it out, those particles are going out into the breeze a little bit farther and bringing in, or they're noticing it. And then when they come in, they get locked on
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Right.
Hey
And
Rick,
it seems like it's working.
real quick
Go
too,
ahead.
before you're gonna have to make us moderators on here also, Chris and I, because Ozark just wanted Chris to drop his link, but Chris can't drop the link. You're probably gonna have to drop his link for him.
Oh,
But if you make us fields, you make our the staff members moderators in here, then we can share the links throughout the. I just wanted to mention that real quick. Mention it, make us moderators whenever you get a chance.
Okay. Yeah, sorry about that.
No, you're fine. It's just Ozark wanted city stickers, his link, but I don't think Chris can drop it. So you're gonna have to go click on Chris's link, Rick, and drop it if you can.
Yeah, let me back up here. I can probably do that
yeah.
because we actually
Make Boxy a mod too when you get a chance. You might be able to click right on there. If you got on your phone, I don't know if you could do that and click on it because I can't do anything with it, but you could probably click on Boxy and get him. Like, yeah, you just shared a link for
Chris.
city sticker. Yeah, so you shared
there
the
it
link.
is.
Yeah,
There it
but
is.
you want to do the you want to make a couple moderators in here so they could share the links while we're talking and stuff like that also, just for future reference. I just caught that now.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, it wasn't something that we discussed, and I didn't even think about asking about.
Yep, no problem. I was just mentioning it to you. No big deal right now. You can do it.
Yeah, I just noticed he put that down there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So
Yeah, it'd be a good idea.
yeah. All right, Chris. What else you want to touch? What do you want to touch on?
I don't know. What
Let's
else
talk
you
about
guys-
kids.
You want to talk about kids?
We could talk about kids.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Do you want to go, Rick or Chris? You guys want to go
Go ahead,
first? You want me
Chris,
to start out?
I need some kids to take out. My boy, as you guys know, has that Crohn's disease, and right now
Mhm.
he's not able to go out. So it would be kind of nice after I get a couple in the freezer to be able to take a kid out and mentor a little bit. But
Mm-hmm.
obviously, my family's got to come first. You know,
I hear you. I hear you.
I got to get something in the freezer here. But
Yeah.
I think I have a real good chance this week. I really do.
Good.
You know, I've got.
Sorry. I clicked the wrong button.
Oh, you're back. Yep.
Yep,
But
I'm
yeah,
back. Sorry about that. I clicked the wrong button trying to get to freezer bound.
But yeah, I was telling some of the neighbor guys, you know, I was like, that bordered the property that I put all the plots in. I'm
Yeah.
like, please bring your grandkids over and shoot some does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not necessarily on my property, but but they come through their property to get to where I'm planting.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Mhm.
so put some stands in there, and I said, shoot some deer, you know,
Yeah.
shoot some of them does. But
Yep.
it doesn't seem like I have the doe problem that I did in the summer. You know, I thought I was going to have a real bad problem in the summer because all I was seeing was does and fawns, but I'm seeing more bucks right now than does.
That's good.
Which is a good. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
I've seen a lot
Yeah.
of young bucks this year. A lot of them, even in
There's a ton of them.
Oh, there is too.
Mock scrapes.
There is a
Yep.
ton of them.
You
Button
won't
bucks
believe
and
the-
spikes.
Yeah, the
threes
deer
and
down
fours.
in Ohio. My buddy's been down there all summer because he has a house down there, and I have a place like you guys know up in Edinburgh, and he usually comes up and fishes with me a couple times in the summertime. But he didn't even come up this year. You know how time flies anyway. But he's been spending a lot of time down in Ohio in the woods on our lease and on public land down there. He's got so many big buck pictures and so many deer, so many shooter deer down there this year. It's amazing. And I showed you that one buck that it's his booze buck, we call it. That's off the limits buck for me this year.
Yeah.
But and then there's other bucks down there that I'm really looking forward to. But there's a ton of them down there this year, so I'm really excited about that, and I can't wait to see what's here. Now, as far as my kids go, Carly, I took her out, and I got to give it to her. She went out with me. She went hunting. She shot her first doe. You know what I mean? I introduced it to her. She shot her bow and things like that. But she's at the point, I think, in her life where she's more about her friends, and that's fine. At first, I was a little bit, I guess, upset about that in a way, but I can't force her to do that. And
Right.
you know, my wife was always the moderator with that thing. Like she tells me, you know, hey, just let her do what she wants to do. She's a kid. She's going to want to do what she wants. And you know how you get to that point where, and I was the same way, and everybody was, you don't want to be with your parents. You want to be with your friends. And so she's with her girlfriends and they're doing their thing or whatever.
Right.
And I'm hoping that maybe when she gets older, she'll want to come back to that. But she does love the outdoors. She likes to go out to, you know, to camp and things like that. So that's a plus for me. So I'm just cool with that.
Yeah.
I introduced her to it. She liked it, but she's got other things on her mind right now that, and I'm okay with that.
See,
Now,
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, no, when I was coming up in my young 20s and I just met my wife, I was running around doing all these 3D shoots in every county and every freaking state around Pennsylvania, running around doing all this IBO shooting. And she was like, "You're never home." And I was like, "Well, why don't you start shooting?"
Yeah.
And her older brother, my brother-in-law, he's an excellent shot.
Yeah.
He was the one I ran around with. And at the time I wasn't a good shot, but I learned through him and other guys going to these shoots, and I got to be pretty good. I qualified for IBO Worlds twice, but I never did it because I didn't have the guts to shoot in front of a crowd. Anyhow, so I was trying to get her involved. She shot really good at some of the local 3D shoots and won some prizes. And once she started having kids, though, that all went away. Why then fast forward like 12 years go by and I'm no longer shooting either.
Yeah.
We get my daughter involved and she starts shooting a bow. She using the bow that I bought for my wife 12 years ago. And she's a crack shot with a bow. And I'm like, dang. And I'm like, so do you want to hunt with me or what? And she's like, Dad, I could not kill a deer.
Yeah, but that's like my wife. My wife couldn't either. But I don't know if you know, it ain't all just about getting the kids involved. It's even like other people that don't hunt, get them involved. But I don't know. I'm kind of afraid to put a bow or a gun in my wife's hands when I'm with her because I don't know if I'd make it back to the house. Yeah,
I don't
because
know, man. She
you know,
pitched
it
you
could
a
be a hunting
50.
match.
She
It
pitched
could
you
be
a
a hunting
50
match. She
party,
did
man.
pitch. She did pitch me a 50 party, but
Yeah, I think
I
she
don't
likes.
know. I get a little nervous. I put a weapon in her hand with me out in the woods. I might not come back.
Now the daughter said, "Now, Dad, I could probably shoot a turkey in the face." I was like, "Yes."
Yeah, yeah. No, Carly will shoot. She shot that doe, and she went turkey hunting with me. She was gonna shoot. You know what I mean? I had a 410 for her for turkey and everything. Now my son, I think he's into it a little bit more, but he's still into other things also. But he wants to go with me, and he's like, "Dad, I want to go," and he wants to shoot a deer. And I show him pictures of the buck and things, and I'm trying to get him. Like this year, I took him down to Uniontown to get the stands ready. So I
Okay.
wanted to show him all the stuff. We had the side by side. We took a ride. I showed him what we do. We walked down into the woods. I trimmed out the branches and things, and I'm showing him why I do that and get the stand ready. I went out. We cleared out the branches and everything around the stand, put up the camera and everything. So I introduced him that way, and he seemed like it was okay. But to me, because I'm so into it, okay, so it's like I feel that they're not into it as much as I am, so I don't feel that they're listening. Now, I'm 100% wrong at that. They are listening and they're taking it in, but they're just not into it as much as I am.
Right.
But I would love for my son to be into it as much as me. But he's 10. I mean, come on now. I can't
Yeah.
expect him to be checking out preorbital glands, tarsal glands. Like he don't know any of that stuff. He just wants to go out and shoot a deer, basically.
Right.
So if I can, I'll do the work. My buddy has done that for his kids in the past. So I'll do the work. If you're going to go with me, I enjoy doing the work because it's like I said, like a big math problem or a puzzle. You're putting all the pieces of the puzzle together, and if I can get my son out there and him shoot a deer, that's my reward. You know what I mean? So he's into it. Like I said, I wish he was all into it more like me, but he's a kid and he got other things, baseball, and he has his games that he plays and his friends. So it's hopefully I introduce it, they stay with it, and then maybe how we always were with our friends, and maybe they'll come back and say, "Hey, Dad, I want to go hunting with you."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's what I look forward to maybe later in the
Question.
I want to answer Ozark's question.
Go ahead.
I let it fly, Ozark, and I have reasons to back it up. There's been many times been up a tree, and I used to be of the same thing. I would hold it, or I'd bring a bottle and try to urinate in a bottle. Yep. What a mess that is! But I've got a reason, and the reason is I bear hunt a lot, and when I bear hunt, obviously I was up a tree and I didn't have anywhere to go, and I wasn't climbing down and all that crap. So one day I just let it fly all over the mountain laurel underneath me, and this big buck within the last 10 minutes after urinating walked right through that mountain laurel bush, never even blinked, and just kept on going. It didn't phase him one bit. And I thought, if that giant just walked through my urine, it probably dripped all over him when he walked through there. I thought, he don't give a crap. Why should I give a crap? I think there's so many gimmicks and things in the hunting industry that, and that's a whole nother podcast, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, we can touch on that eventually.
There's so many gimmicks out there that have people believing, don't drink the Kool-Aid, man. Don't drink that Kool-Aid. I whiz all over the woods.
My only thing about going to the bathroom up in the tree is it's loud. That's the only thing. So I will go on my tree and let it run down so I don't hear it.
I was going to say that. I try to aim for the neighbor's tree, try to shoot the neighboring tree and just let it run down.
But peeing in the woods to me does not affect anything anymore. Now, when I was growing up, it was the worst thing to do. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. The deer are going to know. And I've seen deer. My buddy goes in his scrape. Yeah. So you go in the scrape. It's just another urine from another animal. So that's all it is. You know what I mean?
when they start to deteriorate, it all smells like ammonia.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, they can't distinguish it. But fresher is better, and if it's deer urine, obviously you want to use the fresh stuff.
Yeah,
right. I actually use because I'm old and been in the hospital a few times. I actually have one of the urinals, and it fits perfect over the edge of your tree stand. 3/4 inch or your 1 inch.
Right.
So And then there's no noise, no nothing other than,
Yep.
setting there and letting it fly in that, and then just hanging it up and then take it down and take it out and empty it in the creek or whatever and wash it up and you're back in,
Yeah.
Yep. As long as your partner's not drinking down the creek from you, that's all.
Right.
Make sure he's up the creek.
Oh, is that why you
Right.
always sent me downstream in New York, Rick? Is that why when we was up there, you said go down further? I
Yeah.
got it.
Going downstream, drinking
Yep.
the water downstream.
Yep.
Yeah, we don't want to do
I
that.
see why he sent me downstream all the time.
So yeah, so as far as the kids thing, it's always good to introduce kids or somebody who doesn't hunt and get them into it, and not even hunting itself, just shooting or something. Maybe get them into it if they like shooting guns or if they like shooting a bow.
Yeah.
Like I could see my daughter just shooting her bow, not hunting. That's
Yeah.
fine with me. You know
Yeah,
what I
they
mean?
like the 3D shoot because there's no pressure.
Yeah.
They don't have to kill nothing. It's
Yep.
fun. I love 3D shooting.
Yeah.
I'd like to get back into it, but my shoulders are
Yeah.
shot, man. I couldn't compete with these guys nowadays. No
Yeah,
way.
and like another good thing is like Adam from Freezer Bond. They all the Freezer Bond boys up there. They do well at introducing kids and stuff like that.
They do, but see, they're all younger than us too, and they have kids that age, so it's easier to introduce because they're doing it anyhow. And then all their friends from school are like, "Oh man, that's cool. You guys are doing this." And Adam's like, "Yeah, come on over."
So and that's an awesome thing.
He
Yeah,
gets a crowd going. Sometimes he gets a couple kids up there. And I mean that makes a big difference. Now where I live, that wasn't possible. I don't have anybody around me.
Yeah.
Did you guys see Legacy Archery that I mentioned today on Facebook? I don't know if you guys seen that or not, but they're
Legacy
actually
in
doing
Brookville.
in Brookville.
Yeah, I
PA.
did see that.
One of the Rubline scent carriers. They are actually doing a under 16 youth. What do you want to call it? Youth buck pool and stuff.
Yes.
And they can win a $25 gift certificate if they have the biggest buck and stuff like that. So I actually went and told them I'd be down probably tomorrow or sometime this week, and I'll purchase a $25 gift certificate as well, and they can use it as their another one of their prizes for the kids. So,
Foxy just said Freezer Bond is even taking the big kid out this year, meaning himself.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
That way he could be too effing dude.
Yeah.
Yep.
I actually had 6 kids. So my boys, they weren't allowed to stop hunting until they were 18, and they all do still. But my girls, when they got to 16, that was that was enough. They did it for 4 years, and then they started getting into the boy thing and stuff like that. And I said, hey, as long as they learn how to shoot, protect themselves, and take care of their kids, if something ever happens bad in the world, they can go out and get a deer or go out and get rabbits or whatever. You know what I mean? So that was my big thing when I was raising my kids and stuff. Just learn,
Well, that's not good, Broadhead.
And everything.
Broadhead got bullied.
He got bullied for killing animals and had nickname Murderer for some time when he was in kindergarten and first grade.
Well, I got kicked out of class one time.
Well, here's the thing.
Some of these guys don't know who I am, but like, if there's somebody in there that don't know me, my name, City Sticker, came because I grew up in the city, on the outskirts suburbs of Pittsburgh. Born and raised there, grew up there, stayed for 31 years, and then moved up here. So like when growing up as a teenager, Dad would take us out of school for a day because we didn't get a day off like people up here in the north did.
Yeah, Monday you would get that free day.
We don't get that, so I had to take a day off school. And so what would happen is when I would get back from camp and hunting, my mom would write me a note. Hey, Chris and his father were hunting. Please excuse him for those days, blah, blah, blah. And when I went to homeroom, I had this teacher try to openly bully me and embarrass me in front of the class, and of course from the city I mouthed off to him and I got kicked out of class. So. But that's what it was like. That was what it was like, so I stuck up for myself and he got mad. So
Well, I wanted to iterate something to Broadhead Outdoors. Like he's saying that his friends makes fun of him for killing animals. Now, I don't want to promote it depends on what you're doing too. I don't want to say, I don't want you going out and killing birds and like people's pets and things like that. You got to be if you're doing it legally by the book and you're going out and you're hunting deer and you're hunting animals, there's nothing wrong with it. But you gotta, if you're going out and just killing things to kill them, now that's a different story. I don't want to promote anybody doing anything like that. But if you're going out following the rules, you're hunting deer, you're hunting rabbits, pheasants, whatever you're doing, you have a proper license or you're doing it legally, there's nothing wrong with that. But just you got to watch what you're doing out in society nowadays. Like anything you can get in trouble for. So don't do nothing goofy and shooting birds with BB guns in your yard and stuff like that, because that's a no-no.
Yeah, and the other thing is, what's more ethical? They're getting beef and chicken and pork or whatever they're eating from the store. How do they think these things are killed? It's very unethical. If you go to a slaughterhouse and watch what they do,
yep,
it's no worse than killing them humanely with a sharp broadhead or a fast kill from a bullet.
Yep.
I mean, it's no more brutal, because a lot of the slaughterhouses, my grandpa, step grandpa, I should say, I guess you want to call him, a guy that married my grandmother. He worked at a slaughterhouse. His job was to push the cows into the chute and then smash them between the eyes with a freaking sledgehammer. And when they fell down, reach down and cut their throats and let the blood run down a trough. Into a ditch somewhere. That was his job. He worked at the slaughterhouse, So, I mean, how is that any more humane than someone, ethically hunting them? And,
you'll get people saying some bad things or negative things about anything you do anymore. It's just a matter of keeping your mouth shut and just doing your thing and just making sure you're following the rules and everything's ethical when you're shooting it and doing it the right way. You know what I mean? So it's just, everybody's going to have something to say about it.
Yep. And the big thing too is, and you got to kind of think about it, don't use the word kill. Use the word
harvest.
take.
I use harvest a lot. Yeah.
I use harvest. Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
And that's not as offensive to a lot of people.
I like the people that ask me all the time. They say, "Hey, did you catch a deer this year?" I'm like, "No, I didn't catch him. I didn't catch him.
I only did that in Maryland."
Catching deer. Did you catch a deer? My buddy Wayne would always say that. He's like, "Hey, did you catch a deer?" I'm like, "Nah." I harvested a deer, and he's like, you know what I mean." I'm like, "I get it. I know what you mean."
They're too fast for me to catch.
Yeah, I'm not catching them and putting them in the yard or anything.
The only one I've ever caught was one that I shot and tracked, and I didn't take the gun because I figured it'd be dead.
Yeah.
And I had to catch him first before I cut his throat. That's a whole other story. But I actually, the deer was bedded, and I literally jumped on this buck and cut his throat.
My dad had one charge him that was injured. When my dad injured one with a bow, he went into the bushes and into the briars, and it charged him. Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah.
So. Wow. All right. So what else do you want to touch on with the kids and scent? We mock scrapes. I don't know. I don't know what else you want to.
I don't know.
You guys really want
we're at the hour mark already. Well, how long you guys want to go?
Yeah, I'm good. You want to end it soon, Rick?
Yeah, that's fine. We want, like we talked about last week, we want to try to keep it around an hour so that guys aren't, losing focus and stuff like that. So,
and then anybody in here, guys,
make sure
you guys.
Rick. Yep.
Go ahead. I'm sorry for interrupting.
Make sure you guys. That's fine. Make sure you guys subscribe to City Sticker Chris, to Off the Hook Outdoors Ted, to Freezer Bound Outdoors if you guys aren't already. Hit up Old Head Boxy. You can. I have Big Tiny Outdoors, which isn't, you guys didn't see much, but Rubline Sense as well, because these are the guys that are making things happen. And as far as being a national salesman of Rubline Sense, I want to let Chris and Ted know, and Boxy and Keith from Freezer Bound. I appreciate you guys coming, helping me do this, and building up their channel so that we can get some quality stuff out there, and you know, making them a little bit more noticeable on around, and with us getting Ohio, Ted, stores, or with us getting Indiana, Illinois, Mississippi, Florida, we're getting out there, and we want to become bigger and better and have a lot more quality videos too for you guys, not only at just as big as our scents.
Yeah. And I also wanted to add to that too. Anybody in the chat here, if you see any posts or any videos or anything from Rubline, or anybody doing anything with Rubline, please share that out. Tell your friends about it. You know, share it on your community tab. Put out a post for Rubline Sense. Let people know when we're doing these lives to get people in there, because we do want to grow Rubline Sense more importantly than any of our channels. We appreciate you, you know, subbing to our channels, our personal channels, but we're all doing this as a team to build up the Rubline Sense and to make that known. So definitely, if you see a post or anything like that, go out and share it out with people, and let people know about it whenever we're doing these lives.
Broadhead asked a question there, real quick. How much do Rubline Sense range from? I guess he's asking cost. Rick, what's a 2.2 ounce bottle cost right now in the store?
In a store, I have seen $13 to $20 for a 2.2. I've seen 20 to 35 for a 5.0, I think. Just depends on the store and how much, you know what I mean. They want to make, we don't we give them our price, and then we recommend prices, but it's totally up to the actual store.
Yeah, they can mark it up if they want.
Yeah, your best thing, Broadhead, is to go to rublinesense.com and just go on the website and buy it off of the website and have it delivered to you. That's the best way to buy it. If you don't want to go to a store, if there's not a store in your area, or if there is a store in your area, why don't you mention the Rubline Sense and see if they would carry it, and then you can get in contact with Rick, and then Rick can make a trip out your way and visit the store to try to get the Rubline Sense in the store.
Absolutely, Broadhead. Rublinesense.com.
Good idea.
Absolutely.
Yep. So, all right. Well, you're going to end this, Rick, and then I just wanted to say thank you for having me again. Thanks for everybody that came in tonight and talked about it. But we want to try to do this at least twice a month now, maybe. I'm hoping we get this hunting season now, so we can have a lot to talk about. We'll pick topics every time we do this, and we will, talk hunting.
Sounds good.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you, guys, and you have a great night.
All right. Catch you later.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Chris. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
See you, Rick.
Ted.
Thank you. Have
See
a good
you,
night. Rick, I'll see you tomorrow.
All right.
Yep. Go get Route 8 signed up.
I know. That's what I'm going to try to do.
Bucks and booze.
All right. Later.
Right.
I'm going to hit X out. See ya.
All right.